How many people do you know who struggle with their health? Chances are, whether they show it or not, most of the people in your life do. And chances are, you're one of them. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, depression, endometriosis, acne, eczema, autoimmune, thyroid, Lyme, brain fog, fatigue, or any other symptom or condition, you're far from alone. Living with symptoms has become the new normal. So no more guessing games. It's time to get answers. Welcome to the Medical Medium Podcast. I'm Anthony William. Today we're on round 2 of problematic and damaging supplements. Now let's face it, you don't make friends talking about this stuff because there's a lot of people out there greasing each other's palms, scratching each other's backs, looking the other way. It's a dog-eat-dog world in the health business out there. But people need to know what's going on, what they're ingesting, what they're taking, what the potential is to cause harm and other problems. It's critical. Get ready for round 2. Fasten your seatbelts because we're definitely going on a ride with this one. Yep, there's the deer. It's right over there. Are you ready? Are you locked and loaded? I got my gun. We just gotta get one bullet in the deer, and then the deer drops. And then we cut the antlers off. You know? Like everybody's doing the deer antler. I told you it's gonna fix your ED. It is. Your wife's gonna be happy, okay? Yeah, just get ready. Stop complaining. I know we've been out here a couple hours, but we're gonna save a lot of money. We just gotta kill the deer. We can eat some of the meat. We could sell it. It's venison. Make more money. I don't know. No, you have the deer velvet's on the antler. And then you can use both, I think. And then we can grind it on top of food, like pepper. Enough of this. Yeah, we just have to get the deer, and then we can leave the deer behind if you don't want to lift it. We'll just cut the antlers off, just leave the deer behind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, it's going to help my libido. I've had no libido for a long time now, and the deer antler is going to help with you. It's going to help with your ED, and you know how that problem you have where you keep on having to scratch your ass? That could even go away. Yeah. And your feet, they're so stinky where I can't even be in the truck with you. That could get better too. Yeah, of course. It's like it does everything. All right, just get ready. There's the deer. It's walking right into our sights. Where are you going? You gotta pee? All right, just go behind a tree. When it comes down to creature parts, they're willing to spin anything and everything out there. They'll take a piece of a shark's fin. They'll take a gizzard from a turkey. They'll take a testicle from a bull. They'll take a fin from a catfish. They'll take a wing off of a butterfly. They'll just try to say anything and everything, and they'll spin it. They'll just work on creatures, take creatures apart, give you pieces of creatures. Colostrum's a really good example of that. They'll take that away from the little baby cows, the baby calves, and they'll just take colostrum. They'll tell a whole bunch of women in social media how good it is for them. They'll think they're glowing when they're consuming it. They'll be dastardly in any way they can out there. Collagen is a prime example. They remove it from creatures, and then they sell it to a whole bunch of women out there that get promised they'll anti-age by 20 or 30 years. Another example is the black market with whale meat. Whale meat is supposed to bring life to people, rejuvenate them, bring back their libido. So let's kill a whale out in the ocean just so a bunch of men can think they get their libido back. And people still believe out there that if you eat a creature part, it could fix your part. If you eat brain, it'll fix your brain. Eat an eye, it'll fix your eye. Eat a kidney, it'll support and fix your kidney. Eat a liver, and it will somehow heal your liver or heal you. Same thing with eating hearts, beef hearts. It's a big one out there. A lot of people doing beef hearts. That's another example, a prime example of eating creatures, creature parts, organs, and thinking it's going to fix your organs. So eating a beef heart will fix your heart. It's back to the dark ages with this stuff. It's back 1,000 years ago, 800 years ago, 500 years ago. It's the dark ages. It's actually darkness. And the thing is, it's an easy sell for some reason. Everybody believes it almost everybody out there. Now, Medical Meme Information published info about this and how that's not how it works, like collagen. You can't grow collagen or produce collagen inside your body by eating collagen. It doesn't work. And now that information's getting poached and people are talking about that out there now. You can only build collagen by having building blocks that you're eating and utilizing. You can't fix your eyeball problem eating a whole bunch of different eyeballs, cow eyeballs, sheep eyeballs, all sitting inside your gut, putrefying and rotting. It's not going to fix your eye issue. But you probably know this already. You probably understand that, definitely, right? Because it only makes sense. But yet, so tricky out there. It's easy to fall prey for creature parts. Deer antler, that's a prime example. Every now and then you'll hear something about deer antler, deer velvet, and it's like the panacea once again. This will fix you. And people believe it. They do. And then they look for sources of deer antler, deer velvet. They're looking out there and they find different sources. Like this stuff is the good stuff. Kind of like the CBD thing. This is really good CBD here at this place. Better than that CBD. We have this in our CBD. We have that in our CBD. You're looking for the best stuff. Deer antler, it's the same thing. People become connoisseurs. They look for it. Now, the hormones in deer antler do something that you don't want to do to your body. It's disrupt naturally producing and occurring hormones. It's disrupting your hormones. So when you do the deer antler thing, you're throwing a monkey wrench into your hormone makers. So how does the monkey wrench happen? What goes wrong? Well, the hormone compounds in deer antler, they interfere with yours. How? They're steroid compounds. Steroids do something terrible to our hormonal production, our adrenals, our glands, our endocrine system. It interferes with it. Steroids, taken long term, can really cause all kinds of human growth problems. Deer antler, it can throw off your thyroid profile, your thyroid hormone production, your adrenal hormone production, your reproductive system hormone production, and your liver hormone production. Your liver produces a lot of hormones. And deer antler, the steroid compounds, can interfere with that. And keep in mind, the deer antler thing is really a man's thing. Once again, not looking at women, women's needs, how their bodies really work, and it's all a trick. When it comes down to deer antler, it's a bunch of guys trying it out, playing with it, seeing how it works, if it does or not. It's like one big experiment. And then women, they're told, you should be doing this too. This is really good for you. Meanwhile, it's a disaster. And deer antler steroid compounds can knock the hair off of women's heads over time, can create adrenal fatigue, can create really dry skin. It's just really not worth it. It's the definition of snake oil. This next one pains me. And I mean that. It pains me. It slipped through the cracks. It really did. And it's finding itself in all kinds of different places in health products. Diatomaceous Earth. Diatomaceous Earth particles. Talking about a real magoo. It's this one. I'll never forget something that happened. Someone reached out to me who needed my help, a doctor. He told me that he got really sick from something. And I said, what? And he said, diatomaceous earth particles. I said, tell me what happened. And he said, I dumped them on my couch to take care of cat dander, fleas, cat fur, and cat smell because I have cats. I said, okay. And he said, and then my life was turned upside down. It destroyed my life. He told me he was triggered. His body started falling apart. He inhaled the diatomaceous earth and it broke his immune system down. And things just started to go wrong. He was in full body pain. He was suffering, couldn't function, couldn't sleep, could barely eat anything, could barely walk, all because of the diatomaceous earth. He was completely convinced and positive it was the diatomaceous earth particles that he inhaled. He spent months trying to get it out of his house. He got rid of his couch. He got rid of all his furniture. He vacuumed over and over and over again. And he said, well, I had my friend come over and vacuum because I couldn't even use my arms. The tops of my shoulders hurt so bad that if I bumped into a wall, it floored me. He was stuck in his apartment, living there, saying that he was still breathing it in. He can still smell it. It drove him mad. He asked me if I recommend diatomaceous earth. I said no. And I said that SOC agrees with him. And I said to him, SOC agrees with you on it being a trigger. I helped him with his recovery, brought him back to functioning, brought him back to life. He was able to live his life, but he was injured from it emotionally, mentally, and even physically. The diatomaceous earth was a trigger lowering his immune system, allowing other things to creep up and take over. And this isn't the only time I've seen it happen. Diatomaceous earth should not be eaten, and it shouldn't be used for anything. It agitates and clings to the intestinal linings. It doesn't leave the intestinal tract quickly. It's abrasive. It creates a problem with sensitive nerves. It's a trigger for all around anything. It's just a menace. And when it's inhaled, it lowers the immune system. It confuses the immune system. White blood cells see diatomaceous earth as foreign invaders. And when the immune system drops, because diatomaceous earth is lowering the immune system when you're breathing it in, then anything in the body can rise up. Invaders that live with people, stealth viruses, come out of dormancy. Epstein-Barr, shingles, HHV6, herpes simplex 1 can all of a sudden get a leg up. And still to this day, when I see diatomaceous earth in health and beauty, in all kinds of different health stuff, food supplements, I scratch my head and I go, nobody gets it. This next one, digestive bitters, is kind of funny because really it's useless. Every now and then you'll see out there an influencer be like, I'm using these digestive bitters. I'm using bitters. And they're all into it. Like, here's bitters. My practitioner gave me these bitters. Or I got them here online from this place. And when they do that, what's really happening is they're just drinking, basically. They're taking shots of alcohol. They're drinking. Bitters have always had alcohol in it. They've always had alcohol in it. Corn, grain, alcohol. Now, in the earlier days, it would be bourbon, whiskey, rum. It would be vodka. It would be another type of alcohol in there. But now it's shifting. So now it's shifting to something different. Instead of corn grain alcohol or some other variety of alcohol, they're doing glycerin. And they're usually doing a blend now. Be like glycerin and alcohol. Because let's face it, they're drinking bitters because of the alcohol. People don't know it, but they get addicted to it. Helps them sleep at night. They're basically having a shot of alcohol before bed. But it's shifting because of medical medium information. All the years, letting people know that alcohol destroys the phytochemical compounds, the medicine, the nutrients. Herbal tinctures with alcohol in them makes them ineffective. Bottom line. So now That system out there that was built on alcohol and all the tinctures and the bitters is shifting and changing. So now bitters, they'll be split. There'll be glycerin and alcohol. Tinctures now too, glycerin and alcohol. And there's even bitters out there now that are just glycerin. Now, truly, in order for a bitter to be called a bitter and a bitter to be a bitter, alcohol has to be there. So when someone purchases a bitter now, they're purchasing a fraud bitter. It's missing the alcohol. Now it's just an herbal tincture with glycerin in it. That's all it is now. It's not a bitter anymore. It has to have the alcohol in it to become a bitter. And bitters with glycerin without the alcohol have all these natural flavors in them now. So if you buy a bitter, it may not have the alcohol. It's not a bitter anymore. It's a fraud. Then it has the glycerin. So now it's just a tincture with glycerin, an herbal tincture. But worse, it's an herbal tincture with a bad glycerin, not even a good glycerin. And then it's got all kinds of different flavorings and citric acid and all kinds of other stuff in there. Bitters and digestive bitters are essentially useless. And when it comes down to alcohol, it's bad, bad, bad. There's no good in any of it. It's bad. And what happens is that alcohol was taboo over the years, and medical medium information talked about it being bad. All the different podcast doctors and health authors and everybody in the last just couple of decades always recreationally drank. They drank. They had martinis. They had wine. Everybody laid off the subject. Nobody said that alcohol was bad. Nobody said wine or alcohol or any kind of alcoholic beverage was bad. Medical medium information said, no, it's bad for the brain. It'll rot your brain. We have all the information, Spirit and I. It's in the books. Brain Saver book is one example right there. And so everybody thinks alcohol was okay and just keep it at that. No one wanted to even approach it. It was just like hands off, hands off. Now you see out there, you see different articles out there, people on social media talk about how alcohol, it's bad for you, it's bad for you. And you hear that now. They're just parroting medical medium information. But alcohol in tinctures is disastrous, herbal tinctures. Alcohol in bitters, disastrous. So let's head into our next topic, essential oils. Now, I know what you're thinking off the bat on that one is like, no way. Why would there be a problem with essential oils? It's not possible. What is he talking about? What is this going to be? Oh, he must be talking about the fake essential oils. That's what it is. No, it's not. Talking about the good essential oils, the stuff where it's the best of the best of the best. And all these people are trying to sell them and they're in everything. And people are putting essential oils in everything. And essential oils are used in all kinds of stuff, body products and everything else. Yes, talking about essential oils. If you're someone with a sensitive nervous system, sensitive nervous system, cranial nerves, inflamed nerves, maybe you don't even know you have a sensitive central nervous system and you're just fatigued and don't even know you have neurological fatigue. But if you're somebody with all kinds of different headaches, all kinds of different tics, spasms, burning skin, pain throughout the body, roving pain throughout the body, insomnia, anxiety, nervousness. Maybe you're somebody with tingles on your body, numbness on your body, all kinds of different aches and pains. You're just a sensitive central nervous system person. Inflamed cranial nerves. Don't even know it probably. Essential oils aren't a great thing. Sure, if you smell them a little bit, maybe it's thinned out and put into an oil and you use it as a little type of body lotion or something. And even there, that's fine. But if you're somebody really hypersensitive and you're told to ingest them, digest them, ingest them, drink them, eat them, take them internally, that's where it goes all wrong. A lot of people are living with sensitive vagus nerves. They're spasming, they're inflamed, they're causing problems in their intestinal tract, they're causing problems in how they feel overall, they're giving them fatigue, they're giving them all kinds of different tics and spasms. And then you drink or eat an essential oil like a therapy, some kind of therapeutic way. where someone's like, yes, do these essential oils, take them internally, drink them on a regular basis, therapeutically, weekly, every day, twice a day. And then you flare the nerves up. They go on fire, they light up, and symptoms actually get advanced versus retreat. And essential oils can make nerves hypersensitive, like overexcite them, your senses. They can be overexcited by them, especially when you're somebody that's really sensitive, where it gets into the sinuses and it's in there deep and is actually exciting the nerves. If someone's inflamed and they got inflamed cranial nerves, this could be an overload. Now, whenever I utter this stuff out about essential oils, people just start throwing stones and pitchforks, torches all come out. People do not like hearing this. First thing you hear is, not my essential oils, not the ones I use. This is the best of the best. They extract it from the bark of a Amazon tree. It's handcrafted. It's put in the bottle just right. Nothing's added in it. And that's different. And I use them for healing and my therapy and everything else and my clients' therapy and all this other stuff. And you hear this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm talking about chronic illness here. I'm talking about people with central nervous systems that are on fire. They're already on fire from all kinds of viruses, and they got neurological Lyme and multiple sclerosis, or just a host of symptoms no one understands, mystery symptoms. They're already suffering. They're already struggling. And when you ingest these, when you actually take these in internally, it could literally stir the pot. I've seen it. It happens. And I'm just saying, taken internally, drinking them, eating them, ingesting them. That's the bad part. That's the part that's risky. That's the part where people were telling everybody at the time, especially during the explosion, the essential oil explosion, when everybody was like a dealer, an essential oil dealer. And all of social media was taken over by essential oil salespeople. Well, they'll just be like, drink it, use it in your enema, use it in your ears. I mean, people were just screaming to use it in any way possible. But when it comes down to the chronically ill, they were getting injured left and right. I'm not anti-essential oil. That's not what this is. I'm not anti-essential oil if it's in some type of body ointment. And you got to be careful there too. Something will say it has essential oils in it, but yet it still has perfume and perfume with an essential oil. A lot of products say they have essential oils in it or it's essential oil when it's a mixed bag of nuts. It'll have a whole bunch of different fragrances mixed with essential oil. And once again, I'm not anti-essential oil. I see the value in it. It does hold value, especially high quality essential oils. But ingesting them and taking them internally is risky, especially when you have a sensitive central nervous system. And so many people with chronic illness really struggle with that. Another thing about essential oils that isn't a great thing is people use them in a way that gets oil all over the house. They put it in the laundry, gets on the couches, they have it on their arms and body in the sense where they're wet. They're wetting themselves down with essential oils and they're being told to. So they got it all over them. They lean against the wall, they rub it on the wall, they put it on the kitchen counters, they clean with it. They're diffusing it all day in their house, so it's clinging to everything, clinging to the walls. They're actually using it when they go to bed at night. It's rubbed in their sheets, it's on their pillows. And remember, it's an oil, and it's usually in carriers when they're rubbing it on their bodies. So what's happening is that oil's getting everywhere. And then when that oil's on the couch and it's on the blankets and it's on the furniture, food particles end up landing on it. Dander ends up landing on it. It collects stuff. It collects dust. The oil collects dust. It goes into the oil when it's just floating around the house. And then over time, mold starts to grow. And everybody's worried about mold. Everybody's freaking out about mold. Essential oils can bring mold. It doesn't mean the actual medicine extraction in the essential oil or of the essential oil or the essential oil is the worst thing as far as mold creating. It's just when it gets away from us, when it's on everything, when it's on the blankets, then you wash the blanket, but it doesn't all come out. Everything just starts to stay damp. Oil dampness, that's what it's called. And what happens is that oil dampness is on everything. It's in the carpet, it's on the floor, it's on the hardwood floor, it's on the tables, it's on the curtains, it's everywhere. And oil dampness collects mold. Now, it doesn't mean you can't use a diffuser. It's just that people overdo it. They do it where they're not even diluting it. It's straight lots of oil going in everywhere. It's on their skin, it's on their body, it's on their clothes. They're sitting on furniture. It's everywhere. It's not controlled. It's not balanced. So diffusers, fine. You could use diffusers to put some rosemary in there and try to keep mold down. But if there's oils everywhere, including the carriers, everywhere, all around the house, on everything, it gets out of control and it changes the balance. Keep in mind, this is light years from the synthetic oil-based air fresheners, the plug-ins that people have every day out there that are emitting this disgusting oil filled with chemicals, and it's just leaching everywhere and landing on everything. This is different, but still, it creates a dampness, an oil dampness, and brings about mold over time. There are many more problematic and damaging supplements to talk about, and we're going to get through all of these as we go along. If you want a definitive guide, pick up Medical Medium Brain Saver. Oh my God, this deer is 800 pounds. Just grab the legs. Where are you going? Why are you sitting down? Why are you crying? It was a good shot. You hit it right between the eyes. Yeah, that was an unbelievable shot. We just have to cut the antlers off. And once we cut the antlers off, you just leave this out here to rot for all we care. Yeah, we just need the deer antler. You know, don't you want your ED fixed? It's just, hurry up, grab the other end of the deer there. We just got to pull it a little over here and we can then saw off these antlers. Once again, fooled by another experimental game and trend that makes someone who's unwell feel like it's a win. But it ain't. And it comes with hidden, unforeseen pain. So easily tricked, time and time again. I think it's a sin. These days, it's all about the health fame. God is watching every one of them. God is watching the hustlers, the wealthy biohackers, and knows almost everyone playing the health field is bought and sold. It used to be only in the fashion world and store households, rightfully so, but now it's wheedled its way into every chronically ill person's home. Up above, it's all seen. They're in it for themselves, not the ones who suffer. These days, it's all about the bread and butter. What a conundrum. What a mother. Healing is constantly misconstrued. The chronically ill get misunderstood. The goal is for them to be used. They want to heal. They're solicited a magic pill. The carpetbaggers and the sharks want a steak. They come out of the woodwork. The replicas, they're fakes. What does it take for the truth to come out and shed light upon the ones that are unwell and in need of help? They should be outed. They're devils that scream and shout, confusing the bear, throwing them all in a forever snare. It's time to be wise beyond your years. Doesn't matter how old you are. It's time to learn and grow and heal.
Original published medical medium information gets stolen and poached by podcast doctors, social media doctors, influencers, and medical clinics. Medical medium information has never yet been proven wrong by medical science and research. Instead, the opposite. only proven right and then taken from medical medium published material and used in the conventional and alternative health communities. Medical medium information continually sets the stage for medical science to understand chronic illness better. If you choose to share or use the original, unique content from the Medical Medium podcast, books, or Medical Medium social media, please cite where this information comes from, so others who see and learn of this information have a chance to know where it all originates, to give them an opportunity to heal, so they don't end up losing years of their life searching for answers like so many have before them. The Medical Medium information here on this podcast doesn't come from broken science, interest groups, medical funding with strings attached, botched research, lobbyists, internal kickbacks, persuaded belief systems, private panels of influencers, health field payoffs, trendy traps, or gathered bits and pieces of gimmicky confusion. Because chronic illness is exploding like never before in our modern day history, it takes a greater force than us down here. It takes a helping hand from above. Medical medium information has street cred. It's an organic movement of countless people around the world healing. More healing stories of real people not being paid to tell their life-changing experiences of rising out of the ashes of sickness and entering into the light of full recovery, getting their lives back and finally healing when nothing else in the world of health could move the needle and get them better. The information on this podcast is not man-made. It comes from above, from a higher source. Whatever you believe in, whether God, the universe, the light, or the creator, or if you believe in nothing at all, that we're just floating through space together on this rock. Know that the information you hear on this podcast is separate from all the other noise out there. It comes from a different place, a pure, untampered with, advanced, clean, uncorrupted, original, primary source, a higher source, spirit of compassion.